Space Shuttle, this is flight safety. Keep your hands on the handrail or inside the vehicle and remain seated while in motion. You are clear for launch. Have a great flight to Starport 75.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Chris, is it?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's been.
What, did you forget? Did you forget my voice?
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while, man.
Yeah. I had a little bit of a thing.
Did you?
Yeah,
Really?
a little bit. Yeah, you could call it a mishap. Maybe some people call it that, like a
Really?
mishap. Yeah. Somebody would say accident, but that sounds a little too. Something. Little mishap.
But you're okay overall, right? I mean,
Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, it's just, I'll tell you what happened. I'm on crutches. I broke a leg, believe it or not.
So I heard.
Yeah, just, I was on the monorail going out to Epcot and that door flung open. And, I did not hold on tightly enough and out I went. And,
Man. Did you roll a little bit, try to break your fall?
I did. I'm like, this works on TV. I used to watch the A-Team, and they do this kind of stuff all the time.
Right.
But no, those monorails just go a little too fast, I guess. Are they 100, 120?
Something like, something in that range.
And it's like 1,000 feet in the air. I don't know,
Right.
'cause the air conditioning issue. Something like that.
We'll get to that.
I can't wait. Anyway, that's that story may be made up, but the result is true, which is I'm on crutches, so we haven't recorded in a little while. I'm just a big miserable baby complaining to everybody I know because I don't know if you've ever been on crutches, Glenn, but it is not. It's not fun.
No, it's. I'm sure it's not.
I tell you, the only I don't say the only positive. So one positive aspect of it, if you look at it that way, is you really do appreciate what a lot of people go through day in and day out. Because I'd start to go back to work, and I'm on my crutches to get my car, and you got to put the in. How do you get in the car with a mobility problem? You got the crutches in, and then you got to draw, and just like it's so exhausting just to do the basic stuff. And it's like a lot of people. They're in wheelchairs or crutches or whatever all the time, and that's just daily living for them. So
that's true.
Makes you appreciate that.
That is true.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's my biggest bummer, but one of them is that I have seen zero of Disney World Christmas pretty much because this happened like a little bit before Thanksgiving, and so usually we go quite a bit up until the blackout period happens. But it's not that I couldn't go, but just the thought of I don't know, getting a wheelchair or having my wife, push me around, but we got a stroller with the little kid, and how's that going to work? And I don't know. I guess people rent scooters, but I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the only part I'm kind of bummed about. But.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that does stink because this is a nice time of the year to go to see the decorations, and I mean that's one thing we truly do miss from not being there. Is all of the Christmas celebrations and decorations and everything going on, and so I understand that
we'll get a little bit of it. We're sticking with our we have a Christmas Eve tradition somehow. I don't know how it got started. We have a Christmas Eve tradition to we go to the 1900 Park Fair at the Grand Floridian for character breakfast on Christmas Eve. So we'll go do that.
Nice.
And that's a good hotel. I don't know if you know, it's a good hotel for Christmassy things.
Yes, absolutely, with the big gingerbread house and the big beautiful tree they have in the lobby. Yeah, absolutely. That is if you're gonna go do it. I mean, that's pretty much the one you want to go to.
That's what we do. I'm not huge on the character breakfast thing, but the kiddos like it at least for now. But it's just it's nice to go have a little brunch there and then kind of meander, or in my case, hobble around. Hopefully get a lot of sympathy from cast members and characters,
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We need to give you here's a coupon for 2 free weeks to stay here. I feel so bad for you.
Yeah, if only.
Yeah, I think it'll happen. Anyway, that's me. What's up with you?
Nothing. Just life.
All your limbs in order?
They are.
Good.
I don't know about my brain though. I think
well,
I think mentally I'm wiped out from the past few weeks with Thanksgiving and
crazy time of year. Right?
It is it is. So it has been a while. I apologize to everybody. It hasn't been Chris's fault. It's been my fault. So
That's the first time you admitted that.
Yeah, I know. So he's saying what happened to him, but that has no bearing on any of that.
It's a little both, but anyway. But we're back, and we were on a good clip there for a while too. We had some episodes coming out back to back almost. But that's all right. But we still got a lot to talk about, right? Things still march on. Things still happening in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get to it.
Yeah, let's start. And now, the Disney news of the day. Okay, so we will start with...
What? Oh, no.
Well, because it's I need to... You know what I need to do? I need to create a new bumper.
Wait a minute. Before you continue, let me read the rundown. Oh, boy.
So I need to create a new bumper, like a wah wah, or some kind of bumper that indicates. All right, it's right. Or does Eeyore have music, or like I don't know. I need to figure something out.
Just do a little clip of him going, "Oh bother,
oh bother." Yeah, I guess it's Glenn's whining corner. I don't know. Okay. What are we gonna call this?
This is good. I'll get a little break. You can just go on your rant, and I'll catch you on the other side.
Yeah.
All right, go. What are we talking about?
All right. So the first thing up is the this ride at Disney World called Space Mountain.
Haven't heard of it.
Oh, you haven't, man. It's pretty cool. It's a roller coaster.
New thing? Yeah, it's a new thing.
It's been there for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's one of my favorite attractions, and. Ever since I was a little kid, right? And so
100 years ago.
You're right. Yeah. Well, yeah. True. So you go through the attraction. You go through the line. You get on the ride. You get off, and then when you're getting off, you have to exit, and you get on speed ramp.
Yeah, because you're exiting because you're excited about your next ride, and you couldn't care less about what's happening right then. You're just thinking about where you're going next, right?
So there's a speed ramp, and you got on it. You could stand there, or you could walk through it. But they have some scenes, and you look at the scenes, and then at the very end, you would you'd be on TV, right? And so for a kid from the 70s and 80s to actually be on TV, that was kind of cool. Yeah. So let's see.
You realize TV's not even like a thing anymore, right?
Shush. So this was back about a month ago, November 15th. The Space Mountain for the last few months has been closed. The exit has been closed, and they were just getting you out like the side, and you'd walk around. But the new exit opened, and they took out the speed ramp.
Now, remind me. It's been. I know what you're gonna say. Just bear with me. It's been a while. Like, how long was this ramp? Like, how long were you on this thing? Like a half an hour, 40 minutes?
No.
Like,
I mean,
maybe, like Wedway length.
3 minutes, maybe. I mean,
I remember it being actually kind of lengthy, right? Because it's a long. Because basically you're undoing the distance you did for the line to get in, which is lengthy, right? So it's kind of
I mean, the key is you have to go under the railroad track, right? So you'd go down and then go back up. So that's you're outside of the berm, and so you got to go back into the berm, and we're
talking about the kind of thing that goes up to the people mover, that kind of thing, right? Like like they have at airports, whatever, right?
Yes, right. So it should be a pretty basic technology, but okay, whatever.
Okay. So you're saying it's gone? They took it out?
It's gone. So now it's just a carpeted walkway, and you actually have to walk. You have to use leg power. So they still have the scenes of the futuristic scenes of the different planets, and then you get to a point after the last one with the dog and the person, and then you just keep walking along this narrow corridor. And you keep walking, and you just keep walking. They took out all the TVs, and then you start to walk up the ramp, and they actually added another ramp that you have to go up to go to a higher level to exit. So, I wasn't pleased with that. It's very generic looking. The new end, where the TVs used to be, it's very basic, generic. They have a couple chandeliers there. And that's it. Like, it's just, so what's my problem with it? So my problem.
No, before you get to your problem with it, because we want to hear that in great detail. But before you get to that, Why do you think it was there to begin with? Let's start with that. Why do you think when they decided to make this that they made the decision to put that in there? Because they could have not had it from the beginning as well, right? So what purpose did it solve, or what? I mean, was it a flourish just to make it feel sort of space age and move you along, or do you think it was about crowd? I don't want to say control, but the flow of people, making sure that they're they don't jam up and they're getting out and that kind of thing, or why was it put in there?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. I think Goodyear was a sponsor of Disney World at the time, and so so that was one thing, because they have it at, they had Spacebound, they had the Wedway, they had it at, they still have it at Pirates of the Caribbean. So they still have it, Haunted Mansion as you exit and get on. Right. Okay. So so they have it in many different places, and it's clearly branded Goodyear. So they were a sponsor of.
And those are all roughly the same kind of time frame that they were made, right?
Yeah. So, right. Pirates came in 73, and then Space Mountain and Wedway came in 75. So, right around the same time.
Okay. All right.
So, but the deal with Space Mountain was, a couple reasons. One, the exit was longer than a normal exit. But two, because of those TVs, if you didn't have something that automatically moved people along, people would just stand there and would block the exit and just see themselves on TV and play there. And so the moving walkway served that purpose of flowing those people out. Okay, once you're done, you're done, Yeah. So there was a logistical reason to actually have a moving walkway. I guess, don't put the TVs there, but when it opened, it was sponsored by RCA, right? And that was a new technology, and they wanted to show it off. And you just, when it opened, you had just come through the home of Future Living, and so at the end, they have these brand new TV camera, video cameras, and so it was like, you're living the future, and so
okay, I could see all that for the time. Yeah. So why do you think they decided to take him out? Because as you note, I mean, I'm sure there's cost of maintenance, upkeep, or whatever, but it couldn't have been astronomical, right? Yeah, or maybe it was, and we just kind of underestimating it. But what do you think? Whether you agree with it or not, what do you think the rationale was?
I have no idea. I really don't. I think my guess would be the upkeep, and they just didn't want to
just not
spend the money to maintain it and deal with it. I mean, why? It's just an exit. Like you exactly said, TVs are, who cares if you're on TV anymore? I mean, everybody's on.
Hey, look, I'm on
phones.
YouTube.
Right, exactly. So, it became passé, and it wasn't a big deal anymore. So, okay, let's take all that out. There's no need to have any of that now. And the other thing is, when you used to exit, if you think about where the gift shop is, the exit for Space Mountain was right by the front doors to the gift shop.
Okay,
does that make sense?
Yep.
I'm trying to make it as easy for people who haven't experienced it. But so now that's not the exit. So what they did was they moved the exit further back in the gift shop so that you have to walk through the gift shop to get out. So
as all proper rides do.
Right. So I think that may have played into it a little bit too. Okay. Increase guest revenue a little bit more by buying some some space related stuff. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. There's aspects of it, of course, we'll never know is what it was, the maintenance of it. Because I'll play devil's advocate, and let's say for it, because it was a long walk, and it was one walkway, right? I mean, it wasn't like segments,
correct.
Sometimes at airport they have segmented things,
right?
And so it was basically a giant band of rubber, right? So it's possible that where do you buy what am I trying to say? Maybe that was a thing that Goodyear was committed to a long time ago, was making those sort of walkways, and maybe they don't anymore, and maybe they're like, hey, Disney, we're just not going to manufacture this, 6,000 foot long rubber belt anymore, because I'm sure that's a pretty particular thing that has to get made.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's just like, just the economy of it is became, just tipped it over. I don't know. What do you
Yeah,
think?
it absolutely, it could have.
Yeah.
The only thing is that it's still a long exit.
Yeah,
And now
right.
everybody has to walk it.
Yeah.
So
It's not even so much about the walking, but it is a bit kind of like drudgery. Like you're just trudging along that long, long walkway, right? So
right.
Yeah.
And the other thing, thinking about you, like right now, if you're on cars. Well, no, because they at Space Mountain, you have the option. If let's say you wanted to wait in line with your kids, but you didn't want to ride it. Well, there's that exit that you can go straight through, and you just go to the end and wait for your party there, and then you can, leave together. And so let's say you wanted to do that. Now instead of just getting on there and riding most of the way and then getting off and leaving, now you're going to have to walk it all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even longer now. So it's I don't know. I mean, and so why am I upset? Because it's something old that's not there anymore, right? Something that was there during my childhood that I remember fondly that's not there anymore. And like most things, I'm just an old grumpy man, and so that's why
At least you admit it.
I'm upset. But whatever. The time marches on.
I'm going to defend you a little bit. I make fun of you plenty enough, but I'll even defend you a little bit. And it's not even. I would say it's not even so much. It's a change, but it's a demagification. How do you like that? A demagification of that. I mean, that at least gave it a little plus to the exit. Like, wow, this neat thing. We get to ride on this, and it's not something you'd normally do in your day. So just making it a plain gigantic hallway you have to walk kind of takes away some of that that specialness of it, right? So
it's a lot like the exit to Mission Space.
Yeah.
It's totally themed as you come in, right? You see the whole control panel, whatever, where they control the ride and everything, and they have the giant wheel and rockets and everything else. And you go in and you go through the training video, and then you go in and you wait. And then you leave, and you're literally, you see, you can see the centrifuges and everything, and you walk out, and you're going down this, it's like a utility hall. And it's like, what is this?
Well, we're done with you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. It's like there's zero theming. So it's like, all right, okay, we do it there, so why not? We'll do it here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's, what was I going to say? I was going to say I'm sure they put thought into it, but then you'd say, well, clearly not. But maybe they do, and maybe there's a good reason for that. But yeah, in that case, I could see it'd be a little sad that it would go. Yeah. All right. Well, grumpy old man. Things change. What are you going to do?
I know.
But you weren't the only one. I saw you had some like-minded folks on Twitter. I saw when you guys were lamenting it. So, well, let's play some sad music for the automated walkway. Yeah. And let's move on. Let's talk about good things.
Yes. And this is a good thing.
Things.
So we'll stay in Tomorrowland.
Okay, good. One of my favorite places sometimes.
I know. So I don't know if you remember. I think we talked about it. But in a few months ago in Tomorrowland, they took out the let's call it the spaceship looking thing in front of Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Yep.
Yeah, and everybody was okay. What are they going to do? Are they going to replace it? What are they? So what they did was something amazing.
See, Disney taketh and giveth.
Exactly. So this kind of almost evens out the taking out of the speed walk, but
okay.
we'll
explain
see
what are you so excited about, Mr. Welch?
So what they've done is that now the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor sign is exactly like it used to be in the 70s and 80s when
exactly
American Journeys and what was it, Magic Carpet Around the World, I think was the other one that was there. So it's just this beautiful, plain white spire with the with the sign on it in an oval, and that's it. Just very plain and basic. And I know that I had reported a few months ago that that they were going to start having more of a 70s, the original 70s look to it, and the, a white paint job, and, getting rid of some of the stuff that they did in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And there were some paint changes, but not much else. So this is the first thing that we've seen that really indicates that, hey, yeah, we are going to, harken back to that. I don't think they're going to take out everything that they have. I think, most of it will probably fit fairly decently, but I think the Stitch side, I think there will be some changes there, to mimic the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor side. But I mean, they need to decide what they're going to do with that area anyway. So I mean, I think that's a little bit further down the road, but this is very nice. I like this. It does bring back the whole, 70s, 80s vibe and feel. So I'm very excited about this. So
I agree with you. I think this is a really nice change to it, especially because that particular entrance thing looked, or sign looked ridiculous before anyway. But I do think they're kind of creating themselves a problem here, and I think it's odd, the right word, unusual, interesting that they're not. What am I trying to say? That if they were like making this change throughout, we'd see sort of like multiple things happening at one time. But it seemed like they did this one thing, and like I don't know of anything else that's going on there. So that's a little unusual, I think.
Well, I think they did this one first because the other sign actually became a traffic hazard.
Oh, yeah.
Because it jutted out so much into the main corridor of Tomorrowland,
right?
That I think this was the very first thing they tackled because it opens up a lot more room, for crowds.
Yeah, it does the opposite. Actually, leans in right towards.
It does. Yeah. So I think for crowd control they did this first, but I think we will slowly see, especially with Tron coming online in a couple years, it's going to have that very sleek white and blue look throughout, and so I think that's going to be. I think by the 50th, they will have made enough changes to make it look to get away from the Tomorrowland that never was that they put it in the 90s.
Yeah, because as much as I like it, this little bit of just this one sign I think is great. But if you look at the pictures of this sign with the rest of the current Tomorrowland around it, and maybe it's just we know too much about the detail and the history of it, but they don't match at all. They don't match. You've got that thing which is the sort of retro, harkening back to that sterile white look that it was, but then around it they still have all the metal swoopy 90s looking stuff. And it doesn't. Versus the original pictures where it was all that sort of thematic thing going through. So it's a little discordish, right? Is that a word? Discordant? That's probably a better whatever right now. But so I hope they have a plan to kind of sweep through and do that throughout.
I hope so. They I'm looking at this one picture, and I'll post the link to this, but this one picture, the Wedway track, like the top is dark blue, but then if you look, it has the where you get on and the launching pad and Astro Orbiter. It's like teal or aqua and
it's just
orange
a mishmash of stuff right now, right?
Red, so. It looks awful, and I hate the paint job that they put on there. The People Mover anyway. So I am hoping that they do go through and sweep through and put on a more consistent paint scheme all the way through.
Yeah, they kind of have to.
I do like now. All that being said, I love the paint job that they did on Carousel of Progress.
Yeah. Now that was nice. It really livened it up, which was kind of a dead corner, if you will. Really. I agree with you.
So I think the pop of color can stay back there, but everywhere else they need to tone it down and.
Hey, let me ask you. I don't think I ever asked you because I'm looking at these pictures here.
Yeah.
What's your feeling about the solar system planets thingy above Astro Orbiter? Do you like that? Do you not like it? What's your thought on that?
For what it is, it's fine. I mean, if they keep going with this, they got to take it down. I mean, but
no, do that because I was just thinking they could actually kind of make that feel even more retro, right? Because I mean, it's just because that's very sort of space flight, planetary, 60s, 70s kind of feel. Change the spire maybe because that looks a little.
I think that's what I'm thinking.
90s ish, but yeah, okay.
Yeah,
you know what go ahead.
I was just gonna say they just need to tone it all down.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a little bit too like, and again, maybe it's just because we know that time when they redid it, but
Yeah.
it's a little too like, hey, 90s, look at this we did on Tomorrowland. You know, it has to go. I'm sorry, Glenn, but it has to go sooner than later.
Okay.
That thing on the walkway into Tomorrowland, I don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
the little gateway thing. I've never liked that. Even when it was practically brand new, I've never liked that. I don't know what that thing is. It's got to go away.
It has to now. It does. I was looking at that as well the other day, and I'm like, oh, that looks so out of place now. Oh my god! And I used to try to get it in my pictures and everything, right? As a, but now it's like, oh my god, that's got to go.
Yeah, I take it back. At night, it's kind of cool the way it looks lit up and stuff. But during the day, I don't know what it is. But yeah, so it's so weird. Like, look at this picture. It's one tiny little sliver of this sort of retro design just stuck in there. So hopefully we got more coming. That's pretty cool. But I guess we'll take it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, and I will preface, well, not preface, obviously, but postface all of this by saying, I loved in the 90s. I loved the new Tomorrowland.
Did you? Yeah.
I did with the.
I'm surprised because you're so Mr. Don't change my stuff.
I know, and I was I know, and this is what I'm like. Man, they brought life to it. They brought color to it. It was. I loved it. But it's 2018 now, and we are a good, a long way away from that. Yeah. And now, when you look at 90s stuff, it's like, oh, golly.
Who are those idiots? Who are they thinking?
So now it's time to just, okay, let's be subdued. Let's calm it down. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to go back to just a stark white that we had in the 70s and 80s, but let's have a happy medium,
Yeah. I think I've said it before. I still wish they would do what they did to the Paris one and make that sort of Jules Verne feel. Yeah, that's what I wish it were. But whatever. But this
is a little more timeless. Yeah,
because they do need to do a new take on the old style, right? It can't just be like a poor little copy of it, because then it's just like, well, So hopefully they kind of have some neat thing in mind.
I love the, because when I was a kid, it was the white and everything. But if you honestly look at old pictures,
it's boring.
It was white with like fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally was like.
But for the time, that was, again, going back to the Apollo era and all that was futuristic, right? Yeah. That sort of stark, almost brutal style, right?
Right.
So fluorescent lights were all the rage back then. So.
Well.
They were. I mean, they were modern, right?
No, I know. So. But the good Lord has given us LED lighting now, and we can do. It opens up the whole world to us. So.
Actually, I was going to ask you: have you seen this thing at night? Like,
no,
what does it look like? Do they do anything neat? Kind of,
it's a very good
colors
question.
on it. Yeah. Okay. Well, if I ever heal up, I'll head out there and take a look.
Now they just need to replace the laugh floor with something good.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke about that earlier. It's like, it's a shame that they put such a great sign in front of such a crappy attraction.
MILF. That's right. All right.
Moving on.
Let's
this
see.
next one's mine. Should I talk about this?
Yeah, go ahead, because I need to drink a little water here to.
Okay. From all that complaining, you dehydrated.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, don't take too long because it won't be that long. But I don't know if you know, but I'm kind of into photography. Sometimes I kind of pay attention to that stuff, and I don't even know how I found this. It wasn't like I was looking at anything Disney related particularly, but I think I was out on Nikon's site, just poking around because I like Nikon gear and stuff, and I noticed that they have a whole page/site about learning to take better, more interesting pictures at Disney parks. And it's actually part of the URL is in Disney parks, which at first I went, what? That seemed kind of strange and specific until I remembered that who is the photography sponsor at Disney World? It used to be Kodak, right. But now it is our friends at Nikon, right? So all the formerly Kodak photo spots are now Nikon photo spots, and all the photographers use Nikon gear and stuff. So makes sense. But so anyway, it was interesting, but also they got some good tips out here. So if people are looking for some ideas of how they things they can try and do to get even better pictures at Disney parks, Nikon has put out kind of some neat things. So kind of a neat site. And you can Google for it, Nikon Explore Disney Parks, or I'm sure my friend Glenn will put a link somewhere.
Yes, I will. And I this won't surprise you, but it might surprise others. But you put this on our page a few weeks ago, I think right after our last, maybe even before our last episode.
Maybe.
I didn't look at it until today.
Okay, I'm glad. Gee, thanks.
Exactly. So, but I started looking at it, I'm like, this is really cool because it does give some really good. They have examples and they tell you some of the settings that they used to achieve these looks. So it's actually a really nice site.
Yeah, and talk about gear you can take and planning for the trip and and how all of your pictures would be so much better if you take them with Nikon. Equipment.
That's the last page.
But it is good, no matter what you shoot with. Even if it's just your phone, you could get some good ideas.
That's true. So, absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, so I thought it was neat.
Yes.
There you go. Okay.
So we'll stick with photography, and awesome. our next item is there are. So if you go to some of the character meet and greets, they have PhotoPass people there that take your picture, and they take your picture with your camera if you want, and you can take pictures, and you can meet the characters and everything else. Well, in the meet and greet on Main Street in the Town Square Theater, you can meet Mickey Mouse.
Yep, met him.
And you can meet some of the princesses.
They have princesses there now? Look at that.
Do.
I thought it was Tinkerbell.
Well, I'm looking at that, and last time I was there was princesses, but maybe they moved Tinkerbell there permanently. So both.
I
Mickey,
think that was probably older. I think
the
princesses are more recent, actually.
Okay. Yeah. So whatever the for both of them, for both Mickey and the princess / Tinkerbell meet and greet,
Mickey and non-Mickey encounters.
Exactly.
Yep.
They are going to replace the actual human with an automated PhotoPass kiosk.
Oh boy. Okay.
So,
those salaries for those photographers is way too high. Is that?
Yeah. So that's part of the. There was some. I read some chatter early. When this first came out. That they're going to be losing PhotoPass photographers, but I think the reality is they're just going to reallocate those people throughout the park. This is because it is such a controlled environment, and you still have another person there that actually is the character handler that works with the families coming in and tell them where to go and what to do. The PhotoPass kiosk, the camera will actually take more pictures, and it will give you more options. So
but still all from a sort of fixed height, location, whatever.
True.
I mean, it's not, there's no artistry happening there. Not that I've done that a few times. Not they were particularly artistic for what we got, but there were a couple where, my son is he's a little tiny because he's he's young. Like the photographer would get down closer to the ground and stuff. So you kind of lose out on that kind of stuff, right?
You do, yeah, you do.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm pretty sure Disney has thought about all that. I mean,
and probably
they probably have multiple cameras in there.
Yeah. I guess they could, right? And then probably algorithmically figure out what the good ones are, or
Correct.
just dump them all on your PhotoPass.
Yeah. So that's happening. I don't know how much more it's going to be rolled out. I would assume in most of these, static meet and greet areas, they'll probably roll it out some more. I can't imagine that they're going to get rid of the actual photographers, in the park.
Yeah, I don't know how you would do that. Plus, I've been reading some things lately where they're introducing even more sort of props and things. I've noticed.
Yes,
I can't think of a specific example right now, but like maybe you saw one, but like they would hand you like a magic light up box of some kind,
right?
So they're doing more of that, which I thought was kind of interesting. So I'm still, I've said it before, I'm still shocked how much energy they put into PhotoPass, but I guess there's good reasons for it. But
yeah, I mean, you have PhotoPass included in your annual pass, and when I go, if I don't have an annual pass, I actually buy the package where I get all my photos for that time I'm there.
Yeah, but which is like $300? Is that
it was So if you bought it ahead of time, I think it was $150 or $180 at the time.
Even way less. Okay.
And yeah, absolutely. And then I don't know what it is now, but let's say it's under $200.
Yeah.
Which is, in my opinion, well worth it. But I think there's still a significant number of people. We don't know how many annual pass holders they have, and but I think there's a significant number of people that do not buy the PhotoPass, and then they have all of these, people around the park, and guess what? It still goes on their Magic Band.
Yeah.
And they get home and they have this big watermark or whatever, and they're like, oh, but I like that picture, and they'll buy it for $20 and $10, or whatever it is. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. And so
no, I know. I remember when I did that the first time, and I think actually maybe it wasn't quite 20, but might have been 15. It was between 15 and 20, for one image. So
sure.
Yeah.
So I think it's a money-making proposition. So that's why I'm saying I can't imagine that they would alter that. And like you said, I saw actually in prepping for this show, at night they are just what you said. They have I saw somebody had a lantern with Tinkerbell in it that lit up, and so you hold it near your face, and that would be the light on your face. And so at night they have special props, and so it seems like they're actually enhancing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool.
So, yeah.
Well, I like photos and I like robots, so bring on the robot photo.
So we'll see how you can try that one out.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. This episode is sponsored by ParkLeap. Do you hate waiting in lines for your favorite rides at Disney World, Universal, and Disneyland? Of course you do. Everyone does. ParkLeap tracks current wait times for attractions in real time, analyzes them, and gives you immediate guidance on what to ride now and what to skip for a shorter wait later on. ParkLeap saves you time so you can do more, see more, and ride more. Many theme parks provide their own apps, which is great, but they only report the times. You only get information, you don't get guidance. Is that 40-minute wait good or bad? ParkLeap can tell you. ParkLeap also includes an interface that is clean, quick, and easy to use. Many vacationers travel to multiple theme parks. Now one app does it all. Whether you're a local resident and annual pass holder, or travel great lengths once a year or every few years, you want to make the most of your time and money. This is the app to get to help you do that. Get ParkLeap in the Apple App Store. And thank you to ParkLeap for sponsoring Starport 75. Next is a bit of news that Disney's Hollywood Studios turns 30 in 1980.
I cannot believe that. That is ridiculous.
It opened in 1989. So
that's ridiculous.
I know, 2019. Look, I went there in 1989.
Well, that means you're over 30.
I am over 30. That is a correct statement. I am over 30.
Okay.
So, but for the 30th year, they are going to market with a new logo for Hollywood Studios. Now, I don't know if this includes a new name, because that was rumored as well, that Disney's Hollywood Studios would actually get a new name. So I don't know if it's just a new logo or a full new name, but apparently it's going to be unveiled on January 18th.
Wow, it's coming up.
It is coming up, so we won't have that much longer to wait to find out.
Don't you think if it was a whole name change, we'd hear kind of more about that by now, maybe? Or do you think they could pop out with a huge, and it has a new name?
Yes, I think they absolutely will.
Oh, really?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
Right.
I think it's a perfect time because it's before Star Wars opens.
Yeah,
later
you kind of want to get that in before that
They're
happens.
They're still doing a ton of construction, so it's easy enough to go in and change the signage everywhere. So yes, I absolutely think they're going to have a new name along with the logo on January 18th.
Yeah, we talked about that before. Remember, that was an early episode. We talked about they were doing a poll on different names, right?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
And I pray to, whatever, that
to Walt.
None of those are picked as a new name. I hope it's something way more generic and...
Because I actually thought of you and thought of this the other day. We were watching I don't know, some Disney Christmas thing, I don't know, whatever it was, that looked like it had been pulled over from VHS at some point. And it was the brand on it was Cinemagic. And I thought to myself, isn't that one of the names that we talked about as a potential for the new Hollywood Studios? Or it was something like that, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
It was Cinemagique. because it was like French or it was something.
There was a
it
Q
wasn't
in
spelled.
there. And,
It wasn't spelled Cinemagic. It was like
Right.
it had an E or something. I don't know.
Because that's actually not a. I mean, that didn't seem like too bad a name to use for a park like that. No, not the Cinemagine. I mean, Americans can barely handle English, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
So
Anyway,
we'll see.
I thought
So
okay, so not too. Gosh, it's
a
only,
month. Actually, 1 month
about a
from
month.
today.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
See if you're right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bet against you for sure.
Well, we'll see. I just can't imagine that they would introduce a new logo and then change the name.
And then change the name.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a one shot. And
Yeah, I agree with you. All right.
so
It's weird. I'm agreeing with you far too much. All right.
Man,
Do we
I
have
know,
anything
it's-
else we can argue about? What do we got?
yes, absolutely. You ready?
Okay, good. What do we got?
So it's been confirmed. The Disney Skyliner
Oh, my favorite topic.
gondolas will not
Mm-hmm.
have air conditioning.
Yeah,
only
we knew this.
passive ventilation.
Yeah, we know this because they're going to be so high in the air. It's
Yep.
They won't need it. So we
Yep,
determined.
they,
with math
all
and
the
everything.
cabins were specifically tailored to provide a comfortable ride for our guests in the Florida climate.
That sounds like so much corporate speak. And they're going to have passive ventilation, so don't worry about it. It's be nice and cool. Passive ventilation, which means you don't have to do anything and you'll still be ventilated.
Right. The cabins will have darkened or reflective windows to reduce the amount of direct sunlight entering and heating the interior.
See, they thought
But in the
everything.
winter, you're out of luck.
In the winter, what is that? Winter.
Oh, believe me, there are days it gets cold.
So yeah, actually, recently, yeah, and you know, I love this topic, so I like to read
I
up on
know.
it. And you know, I'm like, okay, without air conditioning, I'm sure they've given it some thought. I'm like, okay, they move along, and air will come through this passive ventilation system. And I thought, oh, that makes sense. But something I read, somebody pointed out, you know, they probably will have to stop these from time to time for, wheelchair access, kind of whatever. Sometimes people need more time. I got to stop it, give it. So then what happens once it stops, then that whole passive system doesn't do a darn thing. Then what happens?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't stop the thing. All right, man. Oh, you're such
I
a
cannot
negative
wait
Nelly
till
on
this opens. I am counting down the days.
Did we talk about it last time that I know I kind of mentioned to you off just the two of us, but I was driving through the Disney area and saw like the actual pylons and stuff they put in, and like I can't say anything to like anything I would say is going to be like, well, of course, but like it is massive, like this is not a small investment from Disney on this thing. This this is like huge amounts of real estate, and like these are like serious. You know, this is not. I guess what I'm saying is you can't think of it like the Skyway that was in the Magic Kingdom. These are like some serious, robust gondolas. So they must think this is going to pay off with the problems they're trying to solve. And frankly, it was kind of impressive. And, you know, I think it actually is going to be neat. Imagine the scene. I'll try and paint this. Imagine the scene. I'm driving down. Did I talk about this last time? Stop me if I did or edit it out. But I'm driving down that main drag, Buena Vista Drive, whatever, you know, that goes between by the boardwalk and then down to Disney Springs, right? Whatever that road is. And I went to the part, like at first I'm seeing these pylons, and then I got to the part where you could tell they were going to cross over. Did I talk about this before?
Yeah, but go ahead. I like.
Okay, well, I'm on a lot of drugs. I don't remember what I did before. So, you know, and just kind of imagining these gondolas kind of going over the road there, and that sort of we did talk about it, sorry. So that sort of sense of motion and whatever, I think it's going to be cool. I think you're so negative about it. I think it's going to be pretty sharp.
It'll be awesome.
All right. Now, what's the next topic? I'm done with you. Let's go talk about
I think the visual
walkway.
of it will be nice. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it absolutely will be nice. But I go back to my original concern or issue is that I do not believe it's going to solve a lot of the transportation issues that they have. And if you're making this kind of huge investment and building stations at Epcot and building a station at Hollywood Studios and at the hotels, why wouldn't you just expand the
see,
monorail?
and we've beat this to death, but that's where I think you're wrong. That's where I think you're making a mistake, because at least the way you just said it, which is this does not solve any of the problems they have. This is not being built for any of the problems they have now. This is being built for the problems they expect to have once the new Hollywood Studios, whatever it's called, gets open with its Star Wars stuff. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, but it's going to
Epcot as well, right? So remember, they had planned this whole huge update to Epcot, and I'm sure it's cheaper to build, all of your Skyways at one time than to go do it at two different times, right?
They're across the street from each other. There's a walkway that goes to Epcot.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that doesn't solve transportation. And then it goes to 3 hotels. That's it.
Yeah, but 3 important hotels for what Disney's doing right now, right? So for all the stuff that's happening in that area of Disney World, that's what I'm saying, that you can really, you start to look at the routes and look at the hotels they're building, and you can see there's a big plan in place here that they're going to be pushing a lot of guests to that part of the world because it's going to be right next to Hollywood Studios, and it's becoming a new center, right? Where originally it was all about Magic Kingdom and the hotels on that Skyway or the monorail there. Mm-hmm. This is becoming like a new center, a new kind of main focus. So I think that's what I think they're doing there. They're building up, and maybe it's, because they can make them more premium and kind of, and why not have ones that also go to Epcot so that they're not just going to the studios. They're also, here, go over that way too. I don't know. But clearly, bottom line is they are clearly doing this for what they see as the future need, not what they're not. I don't think they're trying to solve anything that they have right now. And that is all I'm going to say about this for this show.
Okay. That's fine.
Whew. All right. Is there anything we can agree on?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah. So, no, this is for you.
No. Oh, Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, we talked about it last episode, or the
yeah.
episode before. We were talking about some video games, and you mentioned Kingdom Hearts, and I've never played Kingdom Hearts.
Wait, is that right?
That
Did you
is
say
right.
that last time? Why don't I remember that? Is that right? You've never played not any. There's a third one coming out, so you've now not played 2, and then soon to be a third.
That's correct.
Oh well, you got to get on it.
I know.
So, and to be frank, I haven't played them much either, and and I think we talked about it before, but I think they were PlayStation only exclusive, whatever. But Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out, which this is such an interesting little franchise, this thing, because it just doesn't seem like a Disney thing, but it is. So it's coming out soon. What, in January?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a little surprising they're missing the holiday season.
I know, that is weird, right?
So, but it's coming out in January, and it's going to be on PlayStation and Xbox and PC, I think I saw. But it's a big deal, so much so that at Disney Springs, they have what do they call it? A preview center, a pop-up experience, basically a place you can go to learn all about Kingdom Hearts 3 and play it pre-release and see lots of neat little art and little maquettes and things that they use in the design of the game, and just kind of a little thing all about that game. So if you're into video games and Disney and you're at Disney Springs, it seems like a cool thing to go check out.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited about it. I'll get it. You gonna get it? January 29th it comes out. You gonna get it?
Yeah, I might.
I wonder if it's multiplayer. I don't know a thing about it.
Well, that's a good question. Because if it is, then yeah, I'll get it.
You know what we should do is go to the preview center and find out.
That's true. But I'll follow you.
Okay, well, you'll win. You'll beat me there. Okay, we'll check it out. I'm going to do a little more investigation, but it looks pretty neat. I mean, it's clearly a little pop-up thing. It's not a permanent thing or whatever, but if you're into this world or whatever, it's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. And you get to try out the game right before others.
Yeah.
And you can pre-order. There's even a place, it may shock you, but there's even a place you can pre-order the game right there.
I see that. They ought to give you something special for pre-ordering it there.
Do they? Maybe they do.
I don't know.
Doesn't say so.
But I'm looking at the pictures for this, and I realized looking through it that this used to be a Disney store. So while they were working on the World of Disney, they opened up a store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, next to actually right as you exit the Lime Garage, I think it's.
Sure.
Right, one of them. And anyway, so we went in there, and I was expecting it at the time. This was in what? When did we go? June, I think.
Okay. Sure.
I think it was June or July. Anyway, and we went in, and I was expecting it to be like, oh wow, this is really cool, and like a super duper new thing that they're offering, new Disney stuff or whatever. And no, it was actually a horrible store. Like the layout of it was nice. It was 2-story, and they they painted the walls nicely. They had art on the wall and everything.
Yep.
And so the store looked nice, but the merchandise was just blah. And so I was actually disappointed. And so they've ripped that out apparently because this is where that was.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I think I walked through that store briefly. You're right, there wasn't upstairs. I think when I went through, it was right near Halloween, so it was basically all just costumes and stuff.
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah.
All right. You need to buy this because while you were yapping about whatever you're talking about,
thank you.
I did some research, and it will have online multiplayer.
Okay, cool.
So, you got to get this now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Oh, wait, and then it says, here's like a little tutorial. Here are the games you got to play to catch up.
Uh-oh.
Well, now we got to buy a PS4. So.
Oh,
well, I'll do it for the show.
My daughter would love it.
Yeah, I guess it's a whole story that you got to. Yeah, oh boy, this is
serious?
Complex. All right. Yeah, there's like I guess it's a story arc that runs all through the things. I'll send you this link. Some Polygon, they're a great site about games, by the way. So they did a whole everything you need to know about.
What kind of machine guns do you use?
Machine guns?
Yeah.
No.
Pistols?
No, this is a Disney game. You can't have machine guns. What are you talking about?
Rocket launchers?
What? Oh my gosh. No, it's like, I don't know, like a
grenade?
Like a staff of magic and things. Oh, booze in there. What's booze?
Does it have cluster grenades? That's all I need to know. Does it have cluster grenades?
No, that's the other.
Can you kill your teammates?
The other thing you yell at me about.
Well, when you kill me with a cluster grenade, I get upset.
All right,
when we're teammates.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
All right. Anyway, so you got to buy it so we can play and maybe we'll report back. Okay.
All
cool.
right.
I'm looking forward to that. January 29th.
All right. Okay. The last thing, I just wanted to end on a good note. That's something we could agree
Kingdom Hearts
on.
3 wasn't a good note? It's a good note.
No, yes.
All
absolutely. Right. So it's Christmas time, right? We're a week away from Christmas, and and so do you ever watch the Disney? It used to be the Walt Disney World Christmas Day Parade that they showed on ABC, but in the last couple of years, it's now become the Disney Parks Christmas. What is it? It's
not even Christmas. No.
Yeah. What is it now? It's
I don't know. This is.
Yeah, I'm trying to look.
This is you.
I know. What's the name? Oh, the Disney Parks Magical Christmas Day Parade.
Yeah, that was filmed in October.
Yeah, so what they do is they film most of the musical performances at Disney World, and then they film the parade in Disneyland. So they don't even film the parade at Disney World anymore.
See. Yeah, so you asked me. So my confession is that when I didn't live here, we used to watch this and put on every Christmas.
Yes.
Because they I guess they even back then they didn't run the parade on Christmas, but it aired on Christmas Day, right? And back then I think they did the actual parade and stuff maybe like a couple weeks before. You actually went to some filmings of it, didn't you?
No, I mean, so I went Christmas 91, and at that point, they were absolutely showing it all live.
On Christmas Day?
Yeah, because I went Christmas Day, and they were absolutely filming. I saw Regis and Joan London, and so it was all live still as late as 91. So after that, I don't know. But yes, at some point, because we used to go, Tammy and I used to go, and we would see some of the musical acts, performing and practicing and everything else. And so at some point, yes, they started taping everything. And it was originally it was to make sure that, the weather didn't.
Yeah, of course.
So, but now, then it became so produced and they liked it because they can control everything.
Right.
So now they've given up and they started filming, I think, in early November.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's why we stopped watching because you could tell it just kind of felt a little too overproduced, and just like something that could have been recorded at any time, anywhere. And the thing before was that it was almost like a second Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade because it was, had that same kind of feel to it almost. But now it's just, I don't know, it just feels a little too produced. Yeah. But so I don't know. Should I watch it this year? Should I put it on?
I mean, so I watch it. We put it on every year, but we're usually like meh. Like we don't know a lot of the singers that are singing. It's a lot of Disney Channel
just
singers.
Just ask your kids; they'll know.
No, they don't even know.
Oh, okay. Well,
and I'm looking like they have, Olivia Holt singing. She's from a TV show and
some ABC show, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, well yeah, Marvel's Cloak and Dagger, right?
Yeah,
American Idol winner. Who cares anymore, right?
Yeah, but I bet you if I still did not live here, I bet you I'd watch it. Just because it was a way to connect up. I don't know.
Well, absolutely, and that's why we will watch it. And one of the nice things that they used to do, they don't do it as much anymore. Is it was all about synergy, right? And they would show the new things that are coming, and
right,
and
yeah. Oh new. Yeah, I forgot about that. They would really kind of advertise the park and the fun things.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they do that some more. So we'll see.
Well, they got a lot to talk about. I mean, with the new Star Wars stuff coming and everything. So,
yep.
I guess we'll see. I'll put it on for you in the show. I'll watch it this year.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay.
All right.
Did we get through everything? Wow, we got through everything. We didn't have much of a fight. Although it gets close on the gondola conversation every time.
It always does. It's the greatest.
What are we doing? Are we doing picks this week?
Yes.
This became like this show, I should say. I shouldn't say this week. We stopped doing picks for a little while, but
yeah. I actually, let's do picks of the week, and I'll tell you right now, I have 2. So,
oh my goodness!
Yes, and they're both Christmas related. So
okay, well let me. Well, now I'm worried that when I was going to do, because I was going to have 2 as well, but now I'm worried.
Well, let's do 1 and 1.
The same thing,
right?
I doubt it's the same.
Let's alternate. We'll alternate.
Oh, alternate. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have a Christmas one too, so if it steps on yours, I just apologize. We didn't coordinate.
We did not.
It's probably not though.
This is always a surprise.
It's a little obscure, and it was really just going to be a bonus pick. But let me do that one first, and then you go. Okay, ready? So, because it's that Christmas time of year, we're watching all our Christmas shows and things, and we watched this week. We watched Prep and Landing. Remember that show?
I do.
And I got to tell you, I keep expecting the magic of that show to wear off on me. But, and for anybody who doesn't know, these are little half an hour, I guess, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. Yeah. Not too long. But basically, Christmas specials about the elves that do the prep for Santa's landing at all the houses. And they did one, I think in 2009 or 6, I don't know, somewhere back there. Mm-hmm. And then they had one follow-up to it. And every time I watch these, Glenn, I think, man, why did they not keep going with this? It was such a good story and good characters, and my family loves them so much. So that's my first pick, that if you've never seen Prep and Landing, then you should. Or if you have just forgotten, then I'm reminding you, go watch that.
Yes. The second one's even good.
Yeah, they both are good. And actually, there's a couple of little... off the DVDs, Blu-rays or whatever, there's a couple little like bonus shorter videos those are pretty good too.
Yeah.
So you can go find those.
All right. Well, actually mine is very close, and I was getting a little afraid that you were going to say this one. But
okay.
So actually today we watched Netflix has a Christmas movie that they put out this year. It's called The Christmas Chronicles.
Yeah, we watched that.
With Kurt Russell.
Yep.
And I apparently had read some reviews of it that I guess weren't that flattering. So I wasn't, I was hesitant about watching it. Chris, oh my God, I love this movie.
Did you really?
I did, yeah.
Wow.
I really enjoyed it.
And maybe I read the wrong stuff before I watched it, because my good friend Andy Anatko on his Twitter, he mentioned that he got it on very good authority from people he trusted, like, watch this movie.
Yeah.
And he said the first 20 minutes were rough, and he said my friend just said, look, get through the first 20 minutes, and then after that it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And so I watched the first 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, felt a little Hallmark Channel, but okay, fine. And I mean, I liked the movie. I'll be honest, there were some tears in our house at the end, but
me too.
Maybe I was just expecting too much from what I read from it. But it was, I'd put it in the good category, not amazing. But what did you like about it? Clearly, you loved it.
I thought, well, and maybe I've watched too many Hallmark movies lately because they're so scripted and everything else.
Okay.
And so it was refreshing. It was like, how many times can you tell the same story? But
right.
Okay. But they had a different take on it. I thought Kurt Russell did a great job.
That was the best part of it. Kurt Russell did such an amazing job of that particular, envisioning of Santa.
Yes.
I think he did it. That is the thing that I think was absolutely the best was his work on that.
It absolutely carried the whole movie.
For sure. Yeah.
But the little girl was good too.
Yeah, she was good. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought I liked it. It was cute.
Yeah. I'll back you up on that. You should, if people have Netflix, they absolutely should watch it.
Yeah.
Just, I was just expecting it more about it, but should watch again. But it was good, and I'll be honest, we teared up at the end, like I said. So
oh my God,
I guess it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And maybe it's because I went in with such low expectations that it was like, oh, okay, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. I'm going to watch again. I think they had some other stuff. Somebody mentioned to me that they just like vomited up a whole bunch of Christmas shows. Did you notice any others on Netflix that you watched or had planned to?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Maybe I have bad information, but yeah, it was good. And there's a little surprise at the end. Sorry about my mic. About Mrs. Claus.
Yes.
Did you? Yes. Okay. You caught that, right?
That.
Okay, good.
And the dad, right?
And the dad. Yes, the dad, right. Yes. Which I didn't really get until we looked at the credits afterwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Well, he's in a couple shows that we've watched, and so he's in the one with Jenna Fisher, Splitting Up Together.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's in there.
Right. Okay.
Anyway.
Right. Yeah, cool. All right, is it back to me? My next one's kind of boring.
Yes.
I should have swapped these around. My next one's kind of boring, but I love things that solve my problem. So, my problems, many problems. I have a fair number of gadgets, like electronic gadgets and things. Mm-hmm. And these days, some of them have different sort of connectors on them. Like I have an iPhone that has a lightning connector. I still have like my Bose headphones that have a micro USB connector on them. My laptop and some other things now have a USB-C connector on them. Like, do you have this problem of all these things?
Yeah, well, it alternates between Lightning, USB. Lightning and USB are the two that we have.
Okay. All right, but and you can have dongles for these things, but you have all these multiple different pieces and things, and so I was looking for something a little bit better than that, and I found from our friends at Anker. Remember those guys?
Oh yeah,
Anker. They make some good stuff.
Yep.
They have this neat little cable that it's USB A on one side, that that standard USB everybody knows and loves, and on the other side it's either micro USB or there's like a little tethered thing that you can clip onto that. They can make it USB-C, or you can take that off, and there's another little tethered on it thing that you can make lightning. So in this one little cable, this solved a lot of my problems. That just depending on what I'm plugging this into, I got the right connector on it. So I liked it, and it wasn't that much money. It was like $10 or $15, something like that.
That's cool.
But yeah, so it worked out. So that's my pick: the Anker Powerline 2 3-in-1 cable.
Yeah, I love anything that helps simplify, man.
Yep. So, and I'm kind of getting down to the point where these are the only connectors I have, because the laptop I have now is USB-C. I have an iPad now that's, I guess it would matter either way, that's USB-C, or if I had another iPad that's Lightning. So basically these are the three main connectors I use for everything. So it's one cable and connect them all up. So.
Yeah.
So, like I said, kind of boring, but if you have that problem, then you'd be like, wow, this is cool.
That is very cool. I like that.
Back to you.
All right. So my second pick is a book. Surprise, surprise. So I saw that this came out a few months ago, and I saw it. I'm like, I don't know, should I get it or not? Well, it's a book, and it's about Disney, and so I mean, so it's called The Disney Christmas Card.
Okay.
And so So throughout the years, the Walt Disney Company has sent out Christmas cards to whoever they sent out Christmas cards to, right? Corporate Christmas cards.
Mm-hmm. I get mine every year.
Yeah, I wish I did. So anyway, so this is a book. So it's by the same author, Jeff Curdy, who has done things like the Disney Maps book and the Disney Posters book and a few other books based on Disney park history and stuff like that. So he does a great job. I love every other book that he's put out. But so this one I was like, okay, Christmas cards. Well, now that it's Christmas time, it's like, oh, hey, wait, this is really cool. Mm-hmm. So it goes back and it starts at when they started putting them out, and they pretty much covers every year that they put out Christmas cards, and they put like Walt Disney Imagineering would have a card, and the studios would have a card, and so they don't show every single card that they've ever put out, but it's a very good representation. And in the book, they actually have replicas of some of the cards. You can actually take them out, and they're in little envelopes,
and send them to your friends that live
could,
1,000 miles away.
Well, you could, yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it's a really, really good book. It's if you like Disney history, but I mean, obviously, the art is beautiful in it, right?
Right.
All of these cards are gorgeous, and you look back to the early ones, and they're just, the artwork is just, it's just beautiful, and it's at Christmas time. It's nice to look at it and see what they've done and how they progressed throughout the years, what they focused on, and what they were trying to promote, or whatever. Right. So it's a great book.
This is the From All of Us to All of You,
yes.
Disney. Yeah,
yes.
This is not Mr. Welch. This is not a cheap book. Did you mention that?
Expensive.
On Amazon, I'm looking at it $45.
Yeah. So
okay, all right. How much was the map book? Was it like that?
What?
The map? The map?
Yeah,
book?
yeah.
Okay. Why are you laughing? This wasn't a funny question.
Because that's what they cost.
Okay, all right, man. Okay, don't
you
get
want
defensive.
Quality.
All right. It's not your book, is it?
I'll spend more from other books.
Well, yeah. That's,
goodness.
Yeah, that's you. I'm not saying it's not worth it. Cool.
Yes.
So, can I ask you, since they own Lucasfilm, does it include any of Lucasfilm's cards in here?
No, not yet.
Because when you mentioned it, also made me think of for I think almost as long as it's been around, Lucasfilm has also done sort of unique art concept things on their Christmas cards.
They have they don't have any Lucasfilm stuff yet.
These are cool. I knew less about the Disney ones, so it's pretty cool. All right. So you'll be sending one out to me for review, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Just be waiting by your with bated breath.
Somebody should scan these. Make this like a digital version of it.
I know. Cool. I know. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
That's a good pick. Your picks are so much better than mine.
So, apparently not the first one. Ew. Poor Kurt Russell.
No, just being honest.
See, it has a Disney connection too. Kurt Russell, man.
I know. I think it just my expectations were set too high.
Yeah, and mine were so low that I guess.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it works out that way.
Yeah.
Hey, just because I'm seeing it here on the thing, the new Mary Poppins movie, is that out yet? Did you see that yet?
Yeah, it comes out today. I think. Today, the 19th. I think.
Yeah, you gonna go see it?
No, there's other movies that are on our list to see.
You can see more than, I mean, you can see other movies.
No, we can't.
Do you have a quota that you have to stay under?
We don't have time. Jeez.
Yeah, it is.
The kids want to see this Spider-Man.
Oh, I've heard good things about that. Can we talk about that?
I have no idea what it's about, but my daughter and son want to see that so bad.
Yeah, I hear good things.
Really? What is it? I mean, I've seen some of the previews, but
it's like Spider-Man in different universes or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like many different Spider-Mans. There's
right.
like a Spider-Man kid. There's like a Spider-Man dog, which I think has happened in the actual comics before. But,
yeah, because there's like a Gwen Stacy or something. Spider Gwen she becomes or something. I don't know. There's a lot things going on. Yeah.
Yeah. What's it called? What's the name of that?
I think like Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
God, we're such two old dudes that have no idea what's happening.
I know. So they
what's it called? The Spider-Verse?
they want to go see that, and then
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks good to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch the Mary Poppins one when it comes out. I like Emily Blunt.
I hate Mary.
I know you do.
Poppins.
That's why I'm surprised that you even want to.
But the new one looks it looks really good. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because it looks like they've gotten rid of all the things that annoy me about the first one, which is all the frantic musical numbers, just crazy.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know I'm right. I'm absolutely right.
Oh my god, the music is okay. I'm not. We're not even going to have this discussion.
It's terrible.
Let's talk about gondolas.
And I'm not the only, my wife feels the exact same way, so it's not just me.
Insane.
No, you guys are nuts.
Okay.
It's just makes me so edgy. It's not enjoyable music. It's just like,
why is it not okay?
And you know what else? And I've explained this to you before. I'll explain it again in case we have new listeners. I've learned about myself. I do not like, and I'm sure you'll pop up with some exception I'm not considering. But as a general rule, I don't like the mixture of animation and live action. I just don't. I can't think of a single movie offhand. The case.
They literally had like 5 minutes in the whole.
It doesn't matter. It ruined that and the music. Just except that teaspoon of sugar thing. That was a good song. Anyway, hey, it looks like there's like a robot Spider-Verse person too. That looks pretty cool. I gotta go see this.
Did you see the? I know you're not really into the Marvel universe yet, but
I'm trying to work my way there.
So you haven't seen Infinity War, right?
No.
Okay.
No spoilers.
Yeah. They also have Captain Marvel coming out.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen that is coming out.
Yeah, that looks really good too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the other day when the new Avengers Endgame trailer came out, it was like a national holiday in my household.
Is that right?
Oh my God. Wow. The kids are so into Marvel right now. It's not even. It's actually like it's turned me off because I was the one who loved Marvel and tried to get the kids to watch it, but I don't know, whatever switch flipped for them, but now that's all they want to talk about, look at. It's all about the Marvel universe.
Wow.
They couldn't, in fact, to the point that they couldn't wait to go see The Grinch because Benedict Cumberbatch was the voice of The Grinch and he's Doctor Strange.
Oh my God.
Yeah, oh my God. I kid you not.
And it's pretty much just about the movies, right? I mean, they're not, I don't think maybe they are. Are they reading like Marvel comics and stuff? Or
yeah,
is it just about the movies?
Yeah, he's gotten some comics.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Megan is just, she's into, she has a crush on Tom Holland, but
who doesn't?
But so that's fueling a lot of this, I think.
Yeah, well, okay, that's understandable.
So anyway, but
I almost feel like there's just like too much Marvel now. Like the same way with like they're just like, I don't know.
For whatever reason, and I thought about this. For whatever reason, it's not working for Star Wars to keep putting out different movies and stuff, but Marvel is doing a really good job of what they're doing. It's been a while since a Marvel movie has come out. I think it was the Ant-Man and the Wasp came out in July.
It was not that long ago.
Well, for Marvel though, that's
it's been 6 minutes. Where's the next one?
Yeah. I mean, because in March, Captain Marvel is going to come out. In April, Endgame is going to come out, and then there's a new Spider-Man movie coming out. I think next summer. Yeah. So it's going to be bam, bam, bam. In just 3 or 4 months time frame.
Well, I'll give you my theory. No, I'm sure.
Go ahead. Yeah, please. I want to know.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's right, but because the Marvel universe has so much more breadth to it, right? This is the problem Star Wars always has, is that it's always like it's a victim of its own main storyline, meaning like they're kind of, a lot of people expect them to stay in that main storyline about the main characters, that the Luke, Leia, and Han, etc. And if they stray too far from that, then a lot of people become disinterested. But Marvel has a lot more breadth to that, and Spider-Man versus Hulk, whatever. I mean, they got lots of different areas that they can go with it. That's kind of my feel. So because like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie feels like a completely different franchise than maybe Spider-Man, but they're all under the Marvel umbrella. Right. Star Wars doesn't have that breadth, right?
True. Yeah, because they all started as comic books, and they had their own stories before they even made the first, Iron Man movie, right? And so you're right. I mean, so the expectations were, it wasn't as limiting as the Star Wars universe, and it's kind of weird because the Star Wars universe grew, after,
but not for most people though. I mean, diehards, I think, but
yeah. Well, anyway, we are where we are with Star Wars, and
my problem is I want to, and I even asked you what what today's thought is on the proper viewing order of the Marvel movies. My main problem is just the kid's not old enough to watch it yet, so it's like when do I find time to do all that movie viewing?
I mean, they get. I mean, it's all cartoon violence, but I mean,
it's a little too.
It's very intense,
Yeah. I don't think they're quite ready for that.
No.
So maybe I'll just watch it by my lonesome someday. But yeah, it's all working for him, no matter how you slice it.
I know, man.
Cool. Good for them.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's good to be back on the horse. So they say down in Texas.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, I don't know when we'll do the next one, but maybe not before the new. You think we'll do it again before the new year? Probably, right?
Probably. I don't know. Probably not.
well, if we don't, have a great new year, everybody. And if we do, forget I said that.
That's right.
Okay. Either way, have a great Christmas and such, and talk to you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Starport 75. Follow Chris on Twitter and Instagram at CBGray, and Glenn on Twitter and Instagram at DizWiz. Follow the show on Twitter and Facebook at Starport75 and Instagram at TheStarport75. For all things related to the show, including show notes and links to connect with us, visit us at starport75.com. This episode is sponsored by ParkLeap. Do you hate waiting in lines for your favorite rides at Disney World, Universal, and Disneyland? Of course you do. Everyone does. ParkLeap tracks current wait times for attractions in real time, analyzes them, and gives you immediate guidance on what to ride now and what to skip for a shorter wait later on. ParkLeap saves you time so you can do more, see more, and ride more. Many theme parks provide their own apps, which is great, but they only report the times. You only get information, you don't get guidance. Is that 40-minute wait good or bad? ParkLeap can tell you. ParkLeap also includes an interface that is clean, quick, and easy to use. Many vacationers travel to multiple theme parks. Now one app does it all. Whether you're a local resident and annual pass holder, or travel great lengths once a year or every few years, you want to make the most of your time and money. This is the app to get to help you do that. Get ParkLeap in the Apple App Store. And thank you to ParkLeap for sponsoring Starport 75.